Thanks, Team Snap. What a fantastic event. Really appreciate you guys having us out here today. Learned a lot from some of the speakers here, the D, especially the D type of seminars that probably my weakest point as a coach. So I'm always striving to get better as a coach and learn and absorb as much as I can. Just show of hands, fast forwarding on to the presentation. Who here knows a little bit about profiling skates? Show of hands. A few of us, okay. I was the same type of guy, coming from Saskatchewan, in a small community, 200 people north of Prince Albert. Local farmer would sharpen our skates, and I'd have to go on ice, and I'd have to rub my skates for about 10, 15 minutes before I could even skate. He sharpened so damn sharp, probably a quarter inch sharp or more. Fast forward to my pro career, I probably was with a 13-foot profile with a 5/8 radius hollow. That was 5 years in the AHL, a cup of coffee in the National Hockey League. And then I took my game over to Europe. And that's where my game kind of really transformed as far as skating. They really took care of me, the coaches and the equipment managers. First thing they did is they took a video, and they saw me down at ice level. And when I came back the next day, skating was so much easier. And from that point on, I was called superior medium with a 1.25 inch hollow, so almost skating on a flat surface. So when you think about the confidence level I gained from just being set up properly on the skates, that's something here that I want to talk to you guys a little bit about, just enlighten you, if you will, that it's necessary. We have to bring this type of culture back to the North American market. A couple things we're going to cover here. Improving your skating in 15 minutes. That's all it takes to profile a set of blades. Okay, so it's not a long process that you can set your players up to give them a better opportunity for skating. The importance of balanced blades, we'll go through that in a little bit. And the acceleration profiles for every player, we're going to go through the player types. How we can support your acceleration zone, your agility zone, your speed zone, and your stability zone in the back of your blade. And the whole idea, when we get these zones covered, is to get the players on top of ice. Like I just mentioned, I got from a 1/2 inch in Prince Albert, and when I left Finland, I was skating on 1.25 inches. Okay, so think about how much you're saving energy working with ice, less wear and tear in your hips and labrums and groins. All right, so making you a more efficient skater. We've been in business for 34 years. We have 6 machines on the market. Okay, we support anywhere from the Swedish national teams to the Finnish national teams. We're 100% saturated in the Swedish market. I have 16 machines with the National Hockey League. 2 of the top teams were in the Stanley Cup Finals this year. We're making huge headway with the sports stores here in North America, Pure Hockey in the States, Pro Hockey Life, and Sorcerer Sports. So we're doing a good job there, but there's still lots of work to do. And the lots of work to do is educating the coaches. Because you guys are with the players the most. You guys have the most influence on the players, and you have the opportunity to make your players better. Any bit of confidence you can give players, the better player they're going to be. And we just don't stand up here and talk about it. We go to universities, we study, we put our profiles to the test. Right here, we worked with a Swedish Winter Sports Research Center. We took our profiles, we took players on the ice, we put footbeds inside the skates, and if you see the footbed here on the right, that's a non-profiled skate. So you see the red zones there. That's how much energy the player's putting into the skate blade and boot. If you see the footbed on the left, players using a lot less energy, and that's a profile blade. So you can see the difference. That's a lot of energy. Those red zones. That's what we're talking about. The shot on the picture on the left is a friction test that we did last year in Finland. We took our single radii right out of the box. We took our multiple radii called Superior and Quad to Finland with another technique we have. We also had another profile with the Channel Z on it. And we did this study on it, and the most glide that these profiles had was the superior and the quads. So your multiple profiles had the best performance out of all the profiles that we tested in the Finnish friction test last season. What's very important to understand as coaches is most of the kids you're dealing with don't get their skates profiled. They have no clue about it. The stores are doing a better job educating the kids when they come in and buy skates, But like I said, there's a long ways to go. You can talk to Bauer, you can talk to CCM, and they know damn well that 75% of their blades are unbalanced coming out of the box. So regardless if you're going with our profiles or multiple profiles, it's very important for your player just to get balance on ice. Give them a better opportunity to have success. The reason is like I mentioned earlier, is the too deep a radius when you have skates out of the box is only about what we call a 9-foot radius, and that's only 1.8 inches of ice contact. So in order to feel grip on ice, you have to have a deep radius of hollow. A lot of players around here have half inch or 3/8, which just puts a lot of strain on your hips and groins. What we want to do here in North America is bring what we're doing in Sweden and Finland, Switzerland, Russia, is get the kids to develop with the profiling. So what they're doing there is essentially they start with a long radius called a 17-foot, almost like you're skating on a 2x4. So when they get on the ice, they're not rocking back and forth like skates out of the box. They have stability, and the main focus is just to get the kids to skate and enjoy hockey, okay, and not lose a kid by falling on the ice. Like you get the skates over here and they're rocking back and forth. They fall. We could lose a great player. We could lose a Sidney Crosby, if you will. After you progress to the 13, as your skating progresses, we're going to put you into what we call, like I mentioned earlier, the superiors and quads, where we can support your acceleration, agility, speed, and stability. The players we support, and this is where it gets a little bit interesting. You can see the players that we're supporting at the National Hockey League level. All the type of players you see up there, don't really have to go through those. A two-way defenseman, just a brief description of him. You guys all know what he is, what it supports. One of the best profiles for ice contact is a quad 1. Increased acceleration, increased speed, and excellent stability. Player that I have, their equipment manager that reached out for us with the New York Islanders, and we put this player in it, was Johnny Boychuk. We do a lot of work with the New York Islanders. Scotty calls us directly and asks what profiles we should put specific players in. We watch them skate, and then we recommend 2 or 3 profiles, and this is the profile Johnny Boychuk chose. Offensive defenseman, excellent agility for a quad 0, increased speed, ability to hold the net and come out inside your dot lines. Okay, the defenseman that we have utilizing this profile is Torrey Krug. I initially had Torrey in a quad 1, but the only difference between a quad 1 and a quad 0 is your middle power stroke. It goes from a 11-foot for a quad 0 to a 12-foot quad 1. And his issue with the quad 1 is he felt it held him outside, coming around the net, outside the dot line, and he wanted to grab the net and come up inside the dot lines. So he feels most comfortable with the quad 0 profile. Defensive defenseman, excellent push for your outside pivots, maximum speed and or maximum stability and balance. Player we have in this is Adam McQuaid. Funny story about Adam McQuaid. I was actually watching the game, Boston Bruins. I forget who they're playing, but Don Sweetie came down to the locker room and gave a little bit of shit to his equipment manager. He said, "Can you stop? Can you get Adam from stop falling to his knees every time he frickin' touches somebody?" So Keith Robinson calls me. We recommend a couple profiles. I didn't even recommend. I just said put him in quad 2. That's going to give him the most stability. Problem solved. Adam has much more stability when he's getting in, getting around the rough stuff in front of the net and in the battles in the corners. So it's done a real good job transforming his game, giving him a lot more stability. Playmakers. Player I have with the playmaker profile, Mitch Marner. Okay, 2 years ago, we were invited to the development camp of the Toronto Maple Leafs in Niagara Falls. So we had the 60 kids there, and we had blade bags, and we found each profile for the kids. And not that I chose the profile for Mitch, he chose it himself. So typically how we recommend our machines to organizations is we actually let the players test the profiles, or the coaches. They test them, they find the profiles, and they find what one suits them best. Power forward. Okay, maximum acceleration, maximum support for offensive puck management. Alex Took. He's not in the profile. Las Vegas has two of our machines, this is the profile I would recommend for me. I was much of a player like Alex was. Big, heavy in the corners. What the Superior medium profile will do is it has a 20 foot in the back, 13 foot in the middle, and a 6 foot in the front. So it gives you great acceleration. The speed zone is very good, and your 20 foot in the back gives you a lot of stability when you're managing the puck in the corner and doing your outside power drive to the net, to the far post. Two-way forward. We have it's one of the best profiles, again, the Superior medium for ice contact, increasing acceleration, increased speed. Player I have in that is Patrice Bergeron. Okay, these guys have been in these profiles for about 2 or 3 years now. So when they were with Team Canada, they were on these profiles. And you see Patrice in the high slot. And again, it's the same profile I put Alex Took on, but it's the 20 foot in the back when he's in the high slot, and sometimes he's on his back as a heel. He has that 20 foot for added stability so he can get his shot off a little bit better. He actually takes his toe off even more than a 6 foot. He's probably at about a 5 foot. So Keto told me that he really has to grind off his toe even more to give him the performance he wants out of that profile. A grinder, again, from the New York Islanders, a team we do a lot of work for. It's a quad zero. The reason we gave Cal this profile is just to give him a little bit more agility. He's a big guy, big body. He gets around decent, but we thought the quad zero would give him a little bit more agility with 11 foot in the middle. Sniper players we have two guys to choose from here. Very good acceleration, great support for cutback and delay moves. Brad Marchand is in Superior Small, and John is in Quad Zero. The reason we have different profiles for the snipers here is now we're dialing in, and this is all going to come in education for you guys if you want it. I have another document where we can really dial in. Okay, John has a wide base skating style, much kind of like Sidney Crosby, constant pressure, if you will. Brad Marchand is a long stride and glide. When we get into that, we're talking about foot speed. What kind of foot speed Brad Marchand has, what type of foot speed John Tavares has. So these are some of the things that we get dialed into on picking profiles for these particular players. So nice addition for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they can support John because they do have the machine. And again, just going over the quad, you can see with the target map here, one of the best profiles for ice contact. You can see it's not your best profile for acceleration. It's not your best for agility, but your stability and speed is lights out with a quad profile. And then we have different series of quad profiles. Superior, again, your acceleration is lights out. It's a 6 foot in front, so as soon as you get leaning forward on your toes, you're ready to pop. And it has a very good speed. Your agility's not so good because the middle is quite long in those, and the stability is still very good in the Superior profile. So, like I said, it's always fun staying involved in the game at the highest level. I probably won't pursue coaching at the highest level. I'm happy where I'm at with life. I've traveled the world, been to 23 countries, so we're all wrapped up. But to be able to support the National Hockey League guys, go to development camps, and be involved in that capacity is pretty special for an ex-hockey player. Supporting these guys at this level, it's fun. What we realize, though, with Prosharp is there's a lot of knowledge. It's very confusing. There's a lot of things to understand. We're doing a very good job. This is just to enlighten you. We do have a document to support you. If you really want to get dialed in as far as weight, pivot points, what type of profile we should choose, whether we're going to support the wide and stride or the perfect stride and glide type player, then that's a document we can share with you. Like I said, I'm cut short with 15 minutes. There's hours of education here, but this is what we're getting very strong at with Prosharp, is educating organizations, educating teams, educating equipment managers. Now we're getting to educate coaches. I made my first step here with Paul from Hockey Canada. I'm very grateful. He took the time to step on the ice, and he actually just came back and he said, that's a big difference. And that is a big step for me to get inside Hockey Canada to try and get to the youth level so we can educate all our coaches and all our players to help develop the players the best we can. Thanks for your time. If you have any questions, I don't have very much time left here. I'm almost out of time. We have four Prosharp reps in the booth. So please, if you're intrigued, if you would like us to support your organization, we'd be happy to educate you a little bit more on Prosharp and just bring up a conversation. So please feel free to stop by. Okay, thanks very much.